Welcome, welcome, welcome. And what a great crowd for this special event, and what a great family we have here behind us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joe and Sarah Marcum, for the creation of Marcum Park. I'm also joined here today by Vice Mayor Carla Fear, Councilmember Rob Weil, Councilmember Kathy Klink, Councilmember Bob Brown, and Councilmember Matt Von Stein. And of course, many other friends of Hamilton, Marcum Park, and the Marcums. Your donation is the largest ever private donation for a park in the city of Hamilton. And Marcum Park is an intersection of recreation, music, and economic development. Festivals, markets, families, and even those by themselves during a lunch hour for a moment of solitude will call this park a home. You know, I can also see a lot of wedding photos, prom night pictures, senior pictures, all taking place at the beautiful Marcum Park. Hamilton truly has a parks conservancy system that is second to none. Thank you, Marcum family, Councilmember Joshua Smith, John Gaduli, many of us who had the vision to have this come true. But a special thanks, of course, to the Marcum family, Joshua, John, Jim Fitton, the Parks Conservancy. On April 26, 2017, Hamilton City Council read into the record a resolution. It's the first time ever that I recall in that many years on council where we read the entire resolution into the record. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but it concludes with this. Whereas the City Council wishes to honor the Marcum family by naming the property at 116 Dayton Street Marcum Park, now and forever. Now and forever. Now and forever, thank you, Marcum family, for the love you have bestowed upon the city of Hamilton. Now I'd like to introduce our brilliant city manager, and I mean that sincerely, Joshua Smith.
The mayor was apparently drinking this morning, but because he has never called me brilliant before. Actually, I wrote a speech. I never do that. It is small, but I apologize. I said I actually, for the first time, I wrote a speech, and it's now flying away, but I'm so unused to having a speech. But in King Lear, Shakespeare wrote, quote, "Striving to better, oft we mar what's well." In this case, we have come close to achieving perfection. I am convinced Marcum Park will become Hamilton's backyard with tremendous space for both active and passive uses. To take Shakespeare's advice, let us not mar what is well, but simply enjoy the splendid addition to our city. The mayor thanked a lot of people, and I think I would be remiss in not doing the same. Joe and Sarah Marcum and the entire Marcum family, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this amazing addition to our city. To Jim Fitton and the entire Hamilton Parks Conservancy Board of Directors, thank you for your tireless work in getting this to fruition. Steve Timmer, the Parks Conservancy Director, who may be the most tireless worker I have ever seen in my entire life, and who I told recently I'm convinced that if I worked for him, that he probably would fire me in my first week under working for him because I would not be working hard enough. Brandon Sarber on city staff, who happens to be walking in a graduation ceremony tomorrow because he earns his master's degree. But I said this at a speech the mayor and I had to give the other night over at Berkeley. But if there is a visionary in Hamilton, Ohio, it certainly is a Brandon Sarber. Because I can tell you that I certainly was not on the right path when I first started here. But in getting wisdom from him at a very young age certainly helped me recalibrate my vision for the city. John Gaduli, the president and CEO of the Hamilton Community Foundation, who, sitting in a room a couple years ago, maybe even 3 years ago now, it was his it was his idea to approach the Marcum family and to do the park in this location. So thank you, John, who's been an incredible partner. In the 6.5 years I've been city manager, I can't think of anyone that I probably worked more closely with than John Gaduli. The Hamilton utilities, including Craig Marcum in particular, who have worked very hard to make sure that we had the appropriate utilities to make this park what it is. Mayor Moeller and members of City Council for always being a champion of Hamilton. And I always feel like I'm going to miss someone, so just everyone who played a role in getting this park to where it is today, thank you very much. I'm going to stop speaking now because the person we really want to hear from is Mr. Joe Marcum. So I'm going to welcome him up to the podium right now.
It's the first time I've ever had a mayor hand me something.
It's an honor to do that, too.
Well, I'll tell you, I want to talk a little bit about you. I knew your dad, and he was the Journal's sports editor. And I always wondered how in the world he could go to games, football games on Friday night and Saturday night and have results from all over the county or further and write about it and make the next edition of the Journal. That was terrific. How did he do that?
I'm not sure either.
Okay, well, in today's paper, there was an interesting article, and it's about this dedication ceremony. And the author of that article said it should be known as Hamilton's new living room. And I think that's a great way to put it. I hope it's used. It's right in the center of the city. It's where a good friend of our company's was, the Mercy Hospital. And that area, I thought we'd be nearer where the actual hospital was, but we're over here. But anyway, that hospital's special. Sarah, my wife of 73 years, was born there, and on Valentine's Day in 1924. So that's a long time ago. And I see some medical people here, and I'm sure they have fond memories of the Sisters of Mercy. They really worked with Ohio Casualty. We were a block and a half away, and if we had a medical problem, they were there. If there was some preventive that we could offer our employees to keep from getting the flu or whatever, they were there. And it's just a wonderful memory of that hospital. So Sarah and I are both natives of Hamilton, and I was born in a house. I don't know why I didn't get born in first. Maybe we couldn't get to the hospital one time. But anyway, we have both gone through the Hamilton school system, and we have happy memories of those. I first saw Sarah in the 8th grade when she was coming up the steps on the upstairs in Wilson Junior High School. And after 8 years, we got married. And you know, we had to get our parents' permission in those days because we were underage, 20. And we also had to take a washroom, but I won't get into that. You have to be a little older to understand that remark. So anyway, now I'd like to introduce the key people and thank them for so much they've done to make this park happen. First of all, the mayor, or the city manager, Josh, and John Gaduli came to see us, and we had no idea of what they were going to talk about. I figured it might have involved money, but I didn't know what it was. But they appealed to us, and when I heard it was the 6-acre park in downtown Hamilton, my gosh, what's better than that if you can do something with that? So we agreed, and the kids agreed that let's give it away, let's go for it. So we went for it. And one of the key persons in all that was the city manager, Joshua Smith. He's a good salesman. And I want to thank Brandon Sauber, who oversaw the entire project, and Steve Timmer, who's director of the Hamilton Parks Conservancy, and his invaluable guidance. And Steve, I haven't met you, but I want you to know we really appreciated that nice note, thoughtful note you sent us a couple months ago. I didn't acknowledge it, and I should have. I want to thank Mike Dingledine. He assisted in the oversight of the whole project, and if there was a problem, I understand Mike was the guy that got in there and solved it. And John Goduli, of course, the CEO of the Hamilton Community Foundation. He couldn't have been nicer, and he's kept an eye on the figures and tried to keep it in budget. And Chris Kimbrell, he was the landscape architect who drove down here from Columbus and had a lot to do with the creation of all you see around you. And Chris Coleman, the Turner Construction manager, and of course Jerry Hammond, who arranged this lovely event. So thanks to all of you. I know I've probably missed somebody, but I apologize, and clue me in if I have. So let's give all those people a hand. Yeah. No, don't take that away. I'm silly.
I thought you were sorry.
She wouldn't take away my ad libs.
I thought you were done.
Oh, you wish I were done. Well, let me see here. Oh, now I would like to have you recognize the family that are here. We have 4 children, and 3 of our children are here, and their members of their families are here. We have 12 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and I thought, just for my own satisfaction, where's our 12th, or our latest great-grandchild? Where are you, Tim? Well, bring him out here. This is the youngest. This is the youngest great-grandchild, and Tim Manchester and his wife and the child are staying with their parents up in Dayton. And I called him this morning, and I said, "Now, Tim, what would you think if I introduced your son?" And I said, he said, "Well, I hope he's awake." He's awake. But he's kind of special. He was born on my birthday. And on July the 2nd, he will be 2 years old. So he represents the whole family that's here. And I do appreciate their being here. And I'd just like to go out and saying I think that article in the Journal today said a lot. It's Hamilton's new living room, and I hope you all enjoy it and use it, and come back and tell us where we can improve it some more. Thank you. Who's next?
Good afternoon, everyone. Beautiful afternoon. The skies are not as wet as they have been the last 2 days. But before we leave, this area in front of me is going to get very wet. So the last thing I will do before I am finished is remind you folks, unless you want the rain that you saw the last 2 days, you're going to want to move. Not quite yet, but soon. I'll tell you, don't worry, I'll tell you. Again, Joe and Sarah and the Marcum family, what a great historic gift of your family to the city of Hamilton. This park was thought of decades ago by our forefathers, and it's finally coming to fruition. And again, it happens because there are people committed to this community, like the Marcums, like the Community Foundation, like the Parks Conservancy Board, like the City Council, like. This is a great community. These things just don't happen because. They happen because there's love and dedication for this community. And as the chair of the Hamilton Parks Conservancy, I can assure the Marcum family this park will be taken care of in the manner in which you expect it to be taken care of. You'll never be upset with your decision for this park. Steve Timmer and his staff take care of all the park systems within the city now. This adds to it, and it's going to be a fantastic asset to this community. At this time, I would like to invite Chris Coleman from Turner Construction to come up, and I think he has a presentation and maybe a word or two.
Thank you, Jim. For those of you who don't know me, I was the project manager on this project for almost the entirety of last year, and I just want to thank Joe, Sarah, Trudy, Steve for choosing Turner Construction and letting us and me build just this as iconic piece of the city of Hamilton. So with that, we have put together a little dedication plaque for you guys to hang up in your office. Aerial photos. This is the final project photos.
Get out of the way.
Again, it was an honor to build such an important piece to the city, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. At this time, I'd also like to invite Chris Kimball from MKSK, who had a major impact on the design of this park as well. Chris?
Thank you, Jim. I'd like to just first say that it was really our great pleasure to have the opportunity to be involved with such a transformative project. I'd like to thank the Marcum family for their vision and guidance as we help to realize this vision of a truly transformative space in the heart of Hamilton. We hope it serves you well for many years to come. Thank you.
Again, thank you everybody for being here. It's almost time to get wet, so get away from the circle, please. Hit that water.